What's up, y'all? We are back. This is episode 24 of the Nashville Stampede Out of the Park Baseball 24 series. We're here in the offseason 2031. It is November 30th. I simmed a little bit just because we had to get a new scout, and there's kind of some housekeeping stuff, so we'll hop into this this offseason kind of update on what's happened. So we brought everyone back that was arbitration eligible except Criswell, who we non-tendered. He's no longer on the team, but and then we lost Arroyo. He goes to free agency. A lot of familiar names here, but Kyle Teal, he's been a nice player in this save. Yeah, it's an interesting player to be out here. We already have a catcher, but you know, it's never a bad thing to look around. Marcelo Mayer, shortstop, and then yeah, Arroyo's out here. We offered him the QO. He declined, so we'll get a pick when he signs eventually. His infield range did drop, so maybe he's on the decline. You know, maybe he slips through the cracks here. We could pick him up, but we don't have a ton of money to spend or anything, so that's not really in the cards. Updating on prospects really quick. We're 21st now. Robbie Watkins, number 34 prospect in baseball. Hopefully we'll be back. I do need to run scouting on my entire organization because we brought in a new scout. My other one was getting too expensive, and I didn't feel like paying him like $3 million a year. So we brought in a new scout, Doug Fink, who's good at scouting amateurs, pretty good at international, and good at minors. I don't really care about Major League Scouting. But yeah, he's good at all of that. I guess Major League Scouting does matter, but yeah, we brought in, a new manager in. It's our bench coach previously for the last two seasons, Zach Vincege. Hopefully I don't have to say his name very often, but yeah, we let Travis Phelps go. You know, it was just disappointing the last couple of seasons, kind of getting bounced early in the playoffs. It's like 3 years in a row. We haven't won a title since, our fourth season. It was 4 years ago, 5 years ago. You know, we had a really bad year this year. You know, this year was really good, but we were uncompetitive against a bad Colorado team. So, that being said, we promoted our bench coach, brought in a new bench coach, Mike Calitri, who's been the bench coach with Philadelphia. Hasn't been a coach in a couple of years, but I brought him in, and then a couple of minor league guys. I do need to sign a manager, I see. So we'll bring in Derek Bell. We'll bring in this dude. Maybe a 2-year deal. All right. So anyway, free agents are about to file, and that will. Oh, these guys were guys are just DFA'd before contracts became official. And boom, there you go. Free agents filed. We'll go into free agency, see what's out there. So just going to go browse through the international guys. Paredes is not a bad player, but not the best pitch mix. Fastball changeup, not a huge fan of that. Also, Rivera, not horrible. This Komada guy is interesting. Wants a ton of money, though. And not a very good defensive catcher. He's not bad, but yeah, not a guy I'd look with Rushman on the team. This guy is interesting. 20 mil a year, though. Bad personality. Then Montalvo. Pretty nice. Not as expensive. Kind of like a Giancarlo Stanton build here. Oh, he's a little smaller. Just in stature. What? Pierce George is a popular player? Alright. Oh, he went to international ball. Interesting. Alright, he went to independent ball. I might purchase him just to get the... He has options, right? He should have a couple option years. I'm going to purchase him. Just to get the fans happy again. Okay, so free agents have filed. Let's jump into it. Looks like a pretty good class. Oh, highlighted by this guy. Probably only a DH, 32 years old, a little older. Kamada, definitely the guy that I would go after. 28 years old, in his prime. But we only have $7 million, so that's not really realistic. We're 14th in payroll. So looking at our needs here, the rotation's not pretty at the moment. We have Marquez, of course. He's great, but Milt Altman's our 2 at the moment. Like either him or Hackenberg, depending on how you feel about those 2. And then Jax Bishop's tentatively our 4 starter, but we do not have a 5th starter that I would be comfortable with. Talon Bell is probably the guy. We can give Simpson a shot. We can give the other Simpson a shot. I don't know if he plays up as a starter, though. He'd probably be better off as a reliever. Yeah, I wouldn't start him. We can give Blanco another role, but he's really just a 2-pitch guy now. I don't even consider that curveball a good pitch. He had a good year starting. As a swingman this one year, but then the next year he was horrible in that role. In the last few years as a reliever, he's been good, so I probably won't even, I don't want to go do that and keep moving him around again. But, as for other options, it's probably Simpson. But even he's like, I don't know. I don't know if I'd start him. Angel Lopez is interesting, actually, but yeah, I would start him if I needed to, but definitely a better reliever than he is starter. And then Talon Bell, I guess, would be our tentative 5th starter. The one thing that's keeping me kind of sane here is that we do have a prospect coming up, Johnny Colburn, who I like quite a bit. Could definitely be a starter. Really good stamina. I do need to scout him, but again, he's having the issue with not actually performing well at any level. But I'll trust the ratings, and hopefully he can turn into a good player. But yeah, we could use like a quality number 2 starter, but couldn't every team. And, we don't have the money to really do this. Clanahan would be great. We might have to see if one of these guys falls through the cracks, and maybe we can sign them later in the offseason. Peyton Smith's interesting. Really good pitch mix. Side armor, which I don't like, so... not as starters at least. Valerio wants a ton of money, but he'd be a quality, 3 starter. Jake Eater's a guy I've always liked, and has some experience starting. Doesn't want a ton of money. I don't know how I feel about rolling the dice on a guy who's not really, hasn't started in a couple of years. Tink Hentz out here. 1.7 million. I'd give him a run as a starter for sure. I've always liked him. One of those guys who, I always look to trade for, but he's a 4-pitch guy. Could be a starter, who knows. But if not, he's a good reliever. Cam Robinson's out here, 2.4 million. Bring him back to where he had his best years before these teams started screwing with him and trying to make him a starter. Yeah, I'd definitely bring him in for a 1-year deal at that price. He's not going to be a starter for me, but he can definitely be a reliever. The bullpen is something that I'd really like to actually beef up this year. But we just don't really have the money to do it, unfortunately. 22, let's raise the ticket price a little bit. Maybe we look to bring in some popular guys for cheap. We're still playing Grant McRae for a couple more years. He had a nice year. Good for him. 112 WRC plus after a disappointing first year in Boston. And he didn't play great center field, but he's 30 now. He still has a couple good years ahead of him, hopefully. And yeah. Just looking at maybe some guys we can look to deal. I don't know. Go to the trade block. Check that out. Billy Sullivan's a guy I've always looked at. He has 1 year left on his contract at $10 million. I do like him. Aaron Judge also on the block, but he's a injury mess at the moment. Carlos De La Cruz, good power bat. Wonder what the Yankees would. I wonder how interested they are in getting rid of Sullivan. They are rebuilding, so it makes a lot of sense for them to trade him. We might have them eat a lot of this deal. So if we were to go to our prospects, A guy that I'm not as high on. Andy Hogan's probably the guy. Maybe I'd throw in Chris Grimm. Now, I mean, we have Rushman long term, so he's probably not going to be a starter at any point. Yeah, it doesn't really look like that's possible. This is possible to do at this moment. Let me see. Guys that are making some money. You know, we have like we're pretty top loaded with our salaries at the moment. Frank Correa is not really a guy I'd look to move, but he would be like in that price range. Wagner Castillo's making a bit of money. Nothing crazy though. Yeah, we'll probably have to wait a little bit on this. Maybe our budget will get increased as we move through the offseason. But actually, I should go through awards really quick because I forgot to do that. We did pick up Charles' $6 million option. Just as an update on that. So, Gold Gloves. Here's the AL. No really familiar names that have played for us. In the NL, Mike Trout wins a Gold Glove in center field at age 40. I guess he was 39 last year, but that's I think Kira probably should have won that. Sully Matthias, look at that. He wins one out in right field. You know, this trade didn't really work out for us, but you know, he hasn't really been a great player in LA. We got Ricky Tiedemann for a half a season. Bo Naylor's in Chicago now. Looks like he had a decent season there. And then, yeah, we got back... Oh, these are the guys we gave up, sorry. Wilman Diaz, how's he doing in Kansas City? Yeah, he's going to perpetually underperform, it looks like. And then we got Will Smith, who I just wound up releasing, but he did play a couple games for us. Update on Sully Matthias there. Frank Correa wins a Gold Glove at first base, though. That's really cool. Did he win? I think he won one last year, too. No, he didn't. Okay. Okay, then we'll go to... We have so many messages. I gotta delete these after. Holy crap. Okay. Reliever of the Year? I don't think I missed any. Did I miss Rookie of the Year? Or is that next? Okay. Reliever of the Year, we have this guy in the AL. Any familiar names? Not really. I know, Merton Blanco wins Reliever of the Year as our setup man. Amazing season from him. Charles finishes third in the voting as well. Took a couple first place votes. We have Silver Sluggers in the AL. No real familiar names, but a couple, I guess. Gage Workman gets one for the Angels. Really nice season. Did get hurt at one point, so those problems have followed him. Adley Rushman wins one as well. Leading the league in WRC+, not surprising. George Lombard, he wins a Silver Slugger at shortstop. 3.3 WAR on the year. Really bad defensive shortstop. They should really have him at third, but yeah, that was the trade for Jace Young. We got him for half a year. I mean, that worked out for us, I guess, but now Lombard's kind of emerged as a pretty good hitter. Ronald Acuna wins at DH. That's cool. That trade's worked out. And then, yeah, that's it for that. Trout wins in center field instead of Kira. Buxton out in right field now. So, Rookie of the Year in the AL. Juan Rivas gets 31 of 32 first place votes. Pretty nice player there. But Aiden Harris wins by 2 votes, 2 total vote points over Noriega, who's a heck of a player, man. Holy crap. Kind of has like the Kira build, the low Ks and the really high contact and power. Kind of performed like him too. Probably a little worse though. But yeah, Aiden Harris does win Rookie of the Year. Really good season from him. And then we have Manager of the Year. Travis Phelps won, although he will not be coming back with us this season. Yeah, I mean, whatever. He just can't manage in the playoffs, I guess. Or, I don't know. We had to mix something up. So, Michael Cohan wins Cy Young as a 22-year-old not rookie, but second-year player. Man, that's a heck of an arm there. And then in the NL, Alton Davis wins his, man, what does he have, 4 now? He's won 4 straight. Holy crap. 223 innings. They still haven't extended. Oh, yes, they did. Shit. A pretty big deal. So good for Alton Davis. He wins another. Bobby Miller finishes second. J.R. Ritchie third. Emilio Marquez finishes fourth. I think he probably could have gave Davis a run for his money, but he did get hurt in the last month of the season. No other guys for us. And then Adley Rutschman winds up winning NL MVP. 21 of 32 first place votes. Yeah, what a season, man. This is like an all-time season from Adley. Mike Trout finishes second at age 39. This is probably the best outcome I've seen from Mike Trout. He tends to get hurt a lot in this game, as many of you probably know, but you know, he's stayed mostly healthy. A couple dings and stuff along the way, but yeah, he wins a Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, and finishes second in MVP. Kira finishes third. Just unfortunate that Trout had such a good year. He wouldn't have won a Silver Slugger and probably Gold Glove as well. Ronald Acuna finishes fourth. Awesome year from him. We have Marquez a little bit down the ballot. And yeah, there you go. There's the awards. So let me delete all these messages because we just have so many here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to hop off here, go through some, maybe trades, free agents, see what we want to do, and we'll be back in just a sec. Okay, so quick update on how free agency's going. I had an offer out for Shohei Ohtani. So basically what happened was, this was kind of the ratings I was seeing, because I have the new scout and he didn't really update it, so I sent out a scouting report, and it gave me these ratings instead, and, it's not a bad player, but I was going to have to give him like 7.5 million, so we're going to go elsewhere with our search for our another starter here. We did sign Cam Robinson. I think that was the only guy we signed. Okay, so we took this guy, Cardini, in the Rule 5 draft. He's a lefty. He's 25. I don't know. It's worth a flyer on a lefty, young guy. Who knows? And that's about it. That's pretty much all that's happened. It's been a quiet off season. We don't have a ton of money to work with. Our owner did not increase our budget again, so we're kind of at his mercy at that point, or in that regard, I suppose. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm going to keep looking for maybe another starter or a dude who can start, potentially. Ko is an option, but he's a little old and could fall off a cliff. This guy Severino's interested, and he wants a ton of money. Logan Webb, did we ever have him in the save? We didn't. That was the Rockies one. He's coming off a torn labrum. I'm not confident that he'll come back. Matt Liberatore is interesting. He wants a good amount of money, though. Lodolo, I don't think I'm going to bring him back. Patrick Sandoval is a quality starter here. Coming off a decent season for Seattle. So maybe this is a guy we look at. Maybe for like a $4.5 million deal. He doesn't hate it. Okay, so that would be a pretty good signing, I think. I'm going to send it out a scouting report. Make sure we have the right ratings before we lock him in. Anyone else? Jose Urquidy's not horrible either. Yeah, I think I like Sandoval. He's a well-rounded, dude who can give us 150 innings of solid ball, which is kind of what we need. Oh, we also signed Tink Hence. I forgot to mention this one. I've been kind of enamored by this guy in OOTP in the past, and yeah, he's got some good ratings. Extreme ground ball. He'll pitch out of my bullpen. Maybe could start. Who knows? We'll see how that works out. So we signed Sandoval, and we did get a scouting report back. Everything's good. So his stamina is actually higher than I thought. So that's good. Yeah, but he'll be in the rotation for sure. I don't know what spot in that rotation. Probably 4. I kind of like this rotation a lot. Bishop, I'm not sure if he's going to be a long-term dude, but He proved it. He earned a spot after last season, and then we got like Tink Hence, we got Talon Bell who can kind of fill in. So there's a lot of pieces here that we can play with. So we kind of need to be the best guys who are going to make the roster, and the guys with options are probably going to start the year in the minors because I think there's going to be quite a pitching crunch here. So got to keep moving forward. Spring training is going to start in a few days, and yeah, we'll check in. Maybe there's some free agents hanging around when spring training starts. Yeah, Otani wants to resume talks. I bet you do, dude. He was playing hardball at first, and then I dropped the offer. That's good. Then Luis Robello, nice. Okay, so let's check out what we have here. I would love to bring in Gavin Hollowell, but we don't have any money. Yeah. Unfortunate, but I think this bullpen's good enough to roll. Okay, so spring training, I'm going to set the rosters, go through spring, update with any injuries on opening day, then we'll go through the first series as we do, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we are here. Just signed some minor league dudes as spring training ended, and here we go. This is how the roster shook up. Let me get rid of all these splits. So, rotation's going to go Marquez, Hackenberg, Almond, Sandoval, and Tink Hence was the last guy in. He had a nice spring, and I like his ratings, so we're going to give him a shot in the rotation. If all goes poorly, we have some other guys, but yeah, Charles will be the closer again. Blanco and Robinson, good to have him back after, man, it's been a couple of years. I forgot he pitched in 2029 for us. But Robinson's back on the squad. Oh, yeah, he plays up as a reliever. We're going to start with Gardini in the bullpen. But if, we need a guy or he sucks, we'll just send him back to St. Louis. He's a Rule 5 pick, but it's worth keeping him on the roster. He had a really nice spring. Struck out a ton of dudes, and I don't know, maybe we can find something with him, but then it'll be Marquez, who's been in the bullpen for years now. He is wrecked, so something to monitor, I guess. And then Sam Simpson, our ground ball specialist, had a really bad spring, but hopefully he can bounce back. And then Angel Chivilli, who was a Rule 5 pick a couple of years back, and yeah, he'll slot in. Then Talon Bell had a pretty bad spring. It was mostly these two starts, but I'm going to start him out of the bullpen. Give Tink Hence a start to, earn this rotation spot. But, Talon Bell's, he'll be on the team. He's out of options. And then the lineup is pretty much what I went over last episode. We got Correa, Kira, Rushman, Acuna. That's no different. Both lefties and righties. And then against righties, we have Els and Morlando out there. And then against righties, we have Smith and Harrington out there. The rest of the guys are all the same. Harris goes from third to DH. And then Acuna goes from left to DH, on either whoever we're facing. Just because Carter Smith's a better third baseman than Harris, and Els is theoretically a better outfielder than Acuna at this point. So that's kind of how that shakes up. A pretty similar lineup to last year, minus Arroyo, who signed a pretty cheap deal. It was like a 4-year deal worth $60 million. If I had any money, I would have matched it, but he's a little older now, and who knows. But anyway, let's get into this. We're going to face Colorado, of course, who knocked us out in the playoffs last season. We're going to face Lucas Davenport, then Max Mayer, who looks like he's signed here. He's the number 2 starter, and then James Raitt, who's been at the team for a season. So here we go. Marquez on the mound, game 1, and we win 6-0. This will be indicative of probably the usage for Marquez moving forward, and he did throw 97 pitches, so that's good. Gave us a really nice start on opening day. And Chivilli and Simpson do a good job. So we shut out the Rockies on opening day. Game 2, Hackenberg will be on the mound. And we win 4-1. So Stroman has a couple RBIs. Hackenberg maybe got hurt. He did get hurt. His ratings have dropped. Something to monitor, I guess. But he's not really a good ratings pitcher. But, you give us 2 innings, I guess. And Talon Bell does a good job in relief. And 1 run allowed to the Rockies in 2 games, and Milt Almond will get the Game 3 start here. I'm going to bounce back after a rough season last year as a starter, but still have hope for him moving forward. And we lose 5-3. Ellis has a couple hits. Harris drove in a couple runs. Looks like Kira had a home run as well. Almond, not the worst start. Walked a ton of guys, though, and Gardini had his first game and gave up a couple runs as well. But that's okay. We took 2 out of 3 against the Rockies. I guess we should update Robbie Watkins. He's now fragile, but he did pitch a couple games for me in spring. I sent him down. I didn't want him to get hurt or anything. But yeah, he's coming along well, even after the injury. You know what? I want to look at preseason predictions as well really quick. Tend to forget to do this. So Mets and Brewers are projected to win those 2 divisions, and Nashville Stampede expected to blow out our division again this year, as we did last season. Top hitters, we have Acuna, we have Kira. Those are the only 2 guys. Mike Trout's still kicking it, man. He's incredible in the save. And then for the pitchers, we have Marquez here. It's predicted to throw 196 innings. Wow, I'd be stoked at that. And that's it for pitchers. So, yeah, let's go through the other 2 starts. Sandoval and Hentz, a couple new faces here in the rotation. Gene got returned to us. He was taken in the Rule 5 draft. So we'll put him in AAA, and then hit Castillo I had to DFA. He was out of options, and he wasn't going to make the team. Looks like Rushman headed a solo home run. Sandoval, decent start. Did get hurt. Something to monitor as well. And then Cam Robinson got a blown save. Gave 3 hits. Probably the Talon Bell run. But the rest of the bullpen does a good job. We'll see what the Sandoval injury is. Looks like he's fine. And then Ting Hentz making his debut on the team. And we lose 6-1. Only run coming by Harrington. Looks like he got the start batting cleanup. But Hentz, 5 walks, 5 runs, but only 1 earned. If you're walking 5 guys, you probably deserve to give 5 runs. But yeah, that'll wrap up this episode. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys next time, sometime in June. See you.